Projects are like snowflakes. No two are alike. Sure, some may be similar, but when you get down to it, each project has its own unique attributes, activities, and requirements from stakeholders. Within each project, one attribute that typically varies from project to project is the project lifecycle. As its name implies, the project lifecycle determines not only the start of the project, but also when the project should be completed. All that stuff packed in between starting and ending, those are the different phases of the project. In other words, the launch, series of phases, and project completion comprises the project lifecycle. Each project will have similar project management activities, but the characteristics of the project lifecycle will vary from project to project. The project's business case, also known as a feasibility study, is part of the initiating process. Once a need has been identified, a business case is called for to determine if the need can be realistically be met. So how does a project get to be a project? In some organizations, it's pure luck. In most organizations, however, projects may begin with a business case. Business cases can be, and often are, part of the initiation process of a project. In some instances, a business case may be treated as a standalone project. Let us assume that the business case of a project, ABC, is part of the project initiation phase. By now, you are more than familiar with the concept of a project lifecycle. You also know each project is different and that there are some attributes common across all project lifecycles. For example, the concept of breaking the project apart into manageable phases to move towards completion is typically across most projects. As we have discussed, at the completion of the project phase, an inspection or audit is usually completed. This inspection confirms the project is in alignment with the requirements and expectations of the customer. If the results of the audit or briefing are not in alignment, then rework can happen. New expectations may be formulated, or the project may be killed. Project life cycles comprise the phases, move the project along. Project life cycles allow a project manager to determine several things about the project. Armed with the appropriate information for each project phase, the project manager can plan for costs, schedules, resource availability, risk management, and other project management activities to ensure that the project progresses successfully. While projects differ, there are also other common traits from project to project. For example, cost and resource requirements are lower at the beginning of the project, but grow as the project progresses. Once the project moves into the final closing process, cost and resource requirements taper off dramatically. Projects fail at the beginning, not at the end. Projects are more likely to fail near their beginning and more likely to succeed near the end of their project cycle. In other words, the odds of completing are low at launch and high at completion. The further the project is from completing, the higher the risk and uncertainty. Risk and doubt decreases as the project moves closer to fulfilling the project vision. Changes are easier and more likely at the earlier phases of the project lifecycle than at the completion. Stakeholders can have a great influence on the outcome of the project deliverables in the earlier phases, but in the final phases of the project lifecycle, their influence on change diminishes. Thankfully, changes at the beginning of the project generally cost less and have lower risk than changes at the end of the project. There must be some distinction between a project lifecycle and a product lifecycle. We have covered the project lifecycle, the accumulation of phases from start to completion within a project. But what is a product lifecycle? A product lifecycle is the parent of projects. Consider a company that wants to sell a new type of lemon soft drink. One of the projects the company may undertake to sell their new lemon soft drink is to create a television commercial showing how tasty their beverage is. The creation of the TV commercial may be considered one project in support of the product creation. Many other projects may fall under the creation of the lemon soft drink, research, creation and testing, packaging, and more. Each project, however, needs to support the ultimate product, the tasty lemon soft drink. Thus, the product lifecycle oversees the smaller projects within the process. You are the project manager for Acme Works. Your company would like to create a new video camera that allows customers to utilize Bluetooth technology. The video camera must be small, light, and affordable. This project lifecycle has several phases from concept to completion. Remember, the project lifecycle is unique to each project, so do not assume the phases within a sample will automatically map to any project you may be undertaking. In the proof of concept phase, you will work with business analysts, electrical engineers, customers, manufacturing experts to confirm that such a camera is feasible to make. You will examine the project cost and resources required to make such a camera. If things go well, management may even front you some cash to build a prototype. Management loves the positive information you have discovered in the proof of concept phase. They have set a budget for your first build and have approved the project to continue into development. Now you will lead your project team through the process of designing and building a video camera according to the specifications from the stakeholders and management. Once the camera is built, your team will test, document, adjust your camera for usability and future support. Things are going remarkably well with your video camera project. The project stakeholders love the first build and have made some refinements to the design. Your project team builds a working model, thereby moving into prototyping the video camera's manufacturing, testing its cost effectiveness and ease of mass production. The vision of the project is becoming a reality. The final build, the prototype of the camera, went fairly well. The project team has documented any flaws and adjustments are being made. The project team is also working with the manufacturer to complete the requirements for materials and packaging. The project is nearing completion. The project is complete and is ready for operations. Your team has successfully designed, built, and moved into production a wonderful, affordable video camera. Each phase of the project allowed the camera to move towards completion. As the camera came closer and closer to moving into operations, risk and project fluctuation diminished.